Hello and welcome back. Today I've got another ink sample review, and this one is called Velvet Black Copper. It's by Atramentis, and I'm going to shake this up real good because I think this has shimmer in it. And so we're going to test it first on this little card. All right, there we go. And this is definitely a dark color. Let's do some scribbles here. Try to get it a little thicker on one side, maybe. Okay. Oops. All right, let me just set that in there. And yeah, it does look like there are some shimmers probably in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake this bottle in between each test to make sure that we get all the shimmers incorporated. All right. Let me just get the container out, and yeah, let me shake it. There we go. Okay. Velvet Black Copper. This is by Atramentis. Okay, and I'm going to set this aside to finish drying. There we go. And then we're going to test it out on some different papers. I'm going to start with some copy paper. And I'd like to apologize ahead of time. I am recovering from a cold, so if I sound a bit rough, that's what's going on. Oh yeah, we need to shake this first, don't we? And I found that like shimmer inks, while you're using them with a dip pen, it's best to shake the bottle each time because otherwise they tend to sink to the bottom, all the shimmers do. And you don't get a good test or a good writing experience if you're expecting shimmer and then it all sinks to the bottom. So I definitely recommend shaking each time. Oh wow, that's cool. Okay, so as I'm writing, it's going down like basically black, and then as it's drying to this beautiful copper shimmer, like as I'm writing. That's really cool. Okay, velvet. Watch what happens as I write. Black, see? It's totally black, and then watch it's turning to copper. Okay, that's really cool. So this is just plain old copy paper, and you still get this really cool effect. So this might be really fun, a really fun one for copy paper. There's a tiny bit of feathering, but if you're okay with that, this might be really fun for just plain old paper, because a lot of times copy paper, it doesn't show off special properties of inks very well, other than shimmers. Shimmers seem to show up on everything, which is great, which is super. Okay, let me shake this real quick, and we'll do another test on HP 32, which is another type of copy paper, but it's smoother. And let's give this a try here. Okay. I'm going to see if it still has that cool effect of going from black to copper. It does look like it has that effect. However, it's taking longer. And that's mostly because the ink takes longer to dry on this type of paper by just, you know, seconds or fractions of a second. And this is HP 32. I'm going to try some lines. Yeah, this is basically turning copper as I write with it, but you can still see the black underneath, which you couldn't so much with the copy paper. So this is definitely a nicer effect, I think. Like overall, it's a nicer effect because you get to enjoy the color of the ink along with the shimmers. So that's actually really nice. That's very pretty. I'm going to leave that there to finish drying, and we'll try this on Tomo River paper as well. I'm going to put the lid and shake it. All right, there we go. All right. And if there are any colors that you would like to see me test out, leave comments down below. If I have the ink or if I can get them, then we'll do a test. Okay, velvet, black, copper, and we'll draw some lines. So this is taking much, much longer to dry, which is normal for this type of paper. The ink tends to stay wet longer, but that's how you get to see all the special effects. So, yeah. And I was able to get, 3 or 4 lines drawn before they started turning to copper. And up here you can see it's already changed to copper, but down here it's still finishing up drying. So that's one of the nice things about this paper, is that you might not want the ink to dry immediately if it has some kind of special effect going on. And normally I wouldn't, shimmers are a special effect, but usually when I refer to special effects, I'm talking about things like sheen or shading, things like that. But because this one, the shimmer completely changes the ink's color to something completely different, to me that's like more of a special effect than just having shimmer in it, just because of how dramatic the change is. Here we go. So here's that copy paper, and so you can see there is a little bit of feathering, but if that doesn't bother you, or if you're not using a dip pen, that would probably make a massive difference. But if you like this effect, it would work great on copy paper. So this is definitely one that I would say, yeah, go ahead and just use it on copy paper, because you get this beautiful shimmer effect and it looks so nice, and it's very, very legible because of how dark the ink is underneath. And then this is the HP 32. And as far as the difference in the color of the ink, it's not super dramatic, but because the shimmers stay the same, like the color and the depth of the color, the property of the shimmer stays the same, but underneath that black ink, I'm assuming it's black, whatever color that is, you could see it a little bit better on here. So like around here, you could see like the downstrokes. Some of them, the black is a little bit, it's a little crisper, I guess, than over here. You can still see it here, but over here it's, there's like a more crisp, almost like shading, almost, because like around the edges here, you can see the shading. And I guess I'm having trouble describing what it is I'm trying to describe, if that makes any sense. But, there is a difference in the quality of the paper here. It definitely affects the writing. But it's not so different that I would say you can't use it with copy paper because it'll look terrible, because that's not the case at all. So then we've got this Tomoe River paper. And again, the shimmer part looks about the same. And compared to the HP 32, I think the Tomoe River, oh, you know what, I forgot to write Tomoe River on here, let me do that. But anyways, that compared to the HP 32 is pretty close. I don't think this needs the Tomoe River paper to show off the pretty effects. There we go. I'm gonna write that on there and clean that off. All right, sorry about that. Okay. Let's just watch that color change. But yeah, so I think that these two are pretty comparable as far as the writing experience would be. Just use whatever you have. I think this will look good on anything. It's a really pretty color, and the effects are very, very, very nice. And actually, that kind of shocked me. I wasn't expecting that at all. And then the swatch we made, you can see it here. It needs a little bit of time to dry right there. Let me go dry it off. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So first of all, here's how this swatch looks. Absolutely beautiful. Very like stormy, moody, gray or black with copper. Very, very pretty color. And I wanted to add as well that this is a dip pen that I'm using, not a fountain pen. And some fountain pens do not handle shimmer very well, but even if yours does, it might not put down as much shimmer as a dip pen does. So this changing from like black to copper might not be quite as dramatic. And also the amount of copper that you see in the writing might not be as heavy when you're using it in a pen. I don't know for sure. So keep that in mind, but either way, this is a beautiful color. If I can find a link for it, I will put it down below in the description of the video so you can find it. And if you want to see more videos like these, just click like and subscribe and you'll see more. And thank you so much for watching. You have a great day.